Welcome to Prime R, and today's Tuesday. We're going to be looking traditionally at what has to do with relationship and marriage. And this evening we are going to be asking why many single ladies are seemingly getting more attracted to married men. What is the problem? Can we actually understand why single ladies, instead of looking for their husbands, are going after men who are already married? And also, if time permits, we're going to be looking at why this ring no longer frightens either the man or the woman. The more you have a ring, the more women get attracted to you. I even read of a story of a man in Nigeria who said that he's single and it was difficult for him to get a woman for 2 years, and something just came upon him that he should put on a ring. And once he got the ring, many women started. So we are going to be looking at all of that this evening with our panelists. Apostle Ambe Nsah is in the house with us. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, my co-panelists, Rev Kenneth. Good evening, Cameroonians, and welcome to today's edition of this wonderful program which we used to educate people across the globe. We thank you for the response and also your contributions to help better families in our society today. We are happy to be here. Stay glued to your screen as we bring you very profound explanations to why ladies prefer married men to single men.
Is this the apostle, or you sent somebody to represent, the apostle sent someone to represent?
This is the apostle, Mr. Leo. You know, sometimes you have to get out of the shell. You know, circumstances like fatherhood has tied us to act like we're trying to get back to where we used to be. This is Apostle Ambe Nsah.
Okay, we also are in the company of Rev Kenneth Tato, who is also a regular panelist on Tuesday editions of the program. Good evening, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. Good evening, Apostle. When I saw Apostle in his outfit, I imagined maybe he was bracing up to face the traffic congestion that has characterized the past weeks. Good evening, viewers. We are so glad to be on board tonight. We braved it, and the congestion could not hold us back as it did last week, and we are glad to be on tonight. We pray you stay glued to your screen. We're going to do our best to share ideas with you. We're going to do our best to be able to share what we are inspired to share tonight. And we believe at the end of this program tonight is going to be a whole lot of edification that was going to be shared on the platform. So stay glued to your screen.
We also are going to be having contributions from women that through Ms. Asanji Yvette, who is on standby. We hope that she's also going to contribute to enrich the program for tonight. Apostle Ambe Nsah, this is a topic that I researched on. I may be wrong. Is it true or false?
You are, if not 95%, you're 100% correct.
Okay.
Yes, and we're going to be giving reasons today, not defending the fact, but trying to make people understand the reason why these things are. Because if we do not understand the reason why these things happen, we cannot counter them. It is not healthy for ladies to chase after married men, but we need to know why they chase after married men, so we can give a counter reaction to why they pursue married men. And all married men also should be prepared to understand that the ladies are pursuing them for this reason. And by so doing, they can engage procedures that will make women scare away from them to, better the society from adultery and fornication. We are married people. Married. I've been married this, I'm sure the month of April will make me 18 years in marriage. I think I'm not a student anymore. I should be more experienced now. And everything we are sharing here today are things that we face as married men, inclusive this person sitting here. And I'm going to explain to you why. The first thing is that there is this tenderness in anybody who has gotten married. There is a kind of care that a married man has for his wife. Even if he's cheating on the wife, he has a care for his children. That attribute in him that projects that care for people automatically can attract anyone around him. You find family members are drawn to you easy when you are married. You find friends are drawn to you easy when you are married. It's the same thing. Single girls also get attracted to you when you're married, because they look at you, look at your children, and then see themselves fitting in that same capacity of care you render to your wife, you render to your children. And secondly, most men who are married do not have all the time pursuing you, checking you, investigating you like a single guy would do. And when a married man wants to cater for somebody, he doesn't cater for the person like a single guy would do, be giving and looking for conditions. No, they do it with the mindset that that nature to care for people is there. That's one thing you must understand. So they are tender, because when you start giving birth to children, no matter how hard-hearted you are, when you get married to a woman, there is a way your heart is circumcised. There is a way you have passion and compassion for people. There is a way you approach circumstances. And number two, there is an image you are trying to protect. They will find it difficult to quarrel with you in the street because he knows what he's doing. It's a wrong thing. But a free boy will beat you, collect the dress he bought from you. If you don't give him your body, he will slap you in the street. He will expose you on social media. But if you collect money from a married man, he will hide it because he, first of all, is a criminal. So the girls feel more secure with married men. Number two, a married man has a responsibility back at home, and sometimes he's consumed with job that he does not constantly demand for sex. But these free guys will give you 10,000 and make sex for 66,000. So sometimes the girls feel very comfortable because it's not wearisome in a married man's hand. Care is given, and then they are protected to a level where even if they make mistakes, the man cannot come up publicly to begin to insult or sabotage or beat them. You cannot see a married man beating a side chick at the roadside. But you see a boy who say, you did what? You cheat on me? I will finish with you. I will beat you. I bought you dress last week. But for a married man, to him, he has an image to protect and he has a family to guard. So girls feel more secured under married men than single men.
I'm not sure that Rev Ken is by idea. Rev Ken, is it true?
Maybe you should respond first if it is true or false.
You know, it is a hypothesis, though.
Yes.
I think this is one of the factors that point out to the level to which our society is sinking into moral decay. The aspect of people knowing that somebody is married and more interested in the person. I think in addition to what Apostle has said, when somebody gets married, most often, as the Bible says, the person has grown in favor, because the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Money starts increasing, and there is a kind of leverage a single lady will want to place on the man's fortune that he has gotten married now. And secondly, when somebody is married, it's like the person has validated one cause in life, and a lady will feel more secured. Thirdly, there is a kind of responsibility that is attributable to married people, and a lady will want to find more solace and take shelter in a married man than in a single man. But in general, I think this is a pointer to the fact that our society is sinking deeply into immorality, sinking deeply into sinful acts that were not as common in the past. We are addressing this because the trend is on the rise. It used not to be so. In the past, we know that when somebody is identified as married already, there is a kind of caution ladies will have around the person. But now it is getting so challenging for ladies to restrain themselves. And then it is not also going to be fair for us to attribute the blame or to attribute these factors mainly to the female folk. It is also to the extent that married men are not also keeping themselves in the kind of dignity they were doing yesterday. A married man has not drawn the lines he ought to draw with ladies after he has gotten married. In the past, when somebody is married to his wife, there is a way he comports, there's a way he drives himself along. So the access that single ladies had to married men yesterday was not as much as what they have today. So this is something we must also highlight. Let it not also be as if we are wanting to be one-sided to say single ladies are interested in married men just because they have 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5 reasons for doing so. We also have to look at it from the angle of the men, to the extent that they have not also continued to shield and to hedge their marriages the way men did yesterday. If men were to continue being as responsible as they were, the access that women want to be having towards them will also reduce. You know, if a single lady tells a fellow lady that I tried hanging out with this man and it didn't work out, it is going to, you know, reduce the level to which somebody want to venture to go and have an embarrassment. But now, if a lady, let's say a young girl in the university, is announcing to a fellow girl, a fellow lady, that this man I'm going out with, as you see me, this iPhone I have is this man who has bought it for me. This dress you see me wearing, or these dresses you see on me, it is this man that has bought them for me. This house, you saw my parents came and rented a room of 10,000 for me, but when I migrated to a room of 25,000, it is thanks to this man. The lady will look at it and say, this should be a fertile area. It's good she too should venture into it in order to also have that kind of comfortable lifestyle, of which we are deploring this kind of trend that is taking the society by storm tonight. We're saying that it is not a good thing, because the sanity of marriage demands that when somebody gets married, he should concentrate with his wife. So also when a woman gets married to a man, she should concentrate with her husband in order for the sanity of marriage to be given its place.
Okay. We are really very confused. Married, single ladies, there are so many guys out there, and but yet you want guys who are married. I don't know what the problem and where the problem actually lies. But let's take a listen to Ms. Asanji Yvette from Ambe, also tell us what she has with respect to this topic.
Hello, Mr. Leo. Good evening. Good evening to my co-panelists. Good evening to our televiewers. We really need to address this kind of topics, Mr. Leo, because I don't understand where the world is heading to. I've had cases, Mr. Leo. Let me talk about the lady I cancelled. She has dated men before, but none of them have ever understood her like a married man from her explanation. So she said the married man is the only man who has ever understood her. I mean, in life. So no matter what, she's ready to stay glued to that man. Now, I had another case where the guy is out there struggling to see how he can get married to a wife back at home and bring the wife over. And the truth is that this lady had a child with a married man, and in fact, she claimed that she never knew the man was married until she had a child, or until she was pregnant for the man. But as it stands, she's not still ready to let go the man over the single guy who is doing everything, most of the things. Let me not say everything, doing most of the things for her. Now she's taking things from the man who is married, taking things from this other guy. And so she claims that it is difficult to let go that married man because she has a child with him. To the level where even with counseling and everything, that relationship still ended up, it still got broken. She still ended up leaving the single guy who has future plans, has plans for her, to this other guy. To the level where if the guy abroad is calling and this married man comes in, automatically she drops the call of the other guy. And even when the guy abroad sends things for the child, she takes those things and gives to the child and tells the child that it is from the father. So there have been a lot of, I don't know if there are some things about married men that women are so attached to more than the single guys. I've always asked this, I always say this, Mr. Leo, that if you choose to date a married man over a single guy that has plans for you, it's like choosing to remain a tenant instead of becoming a landlady of your own. Unfortunately, some people are okay being tenants. I think not everybody wants to become a landlady. That's how funny it is. I mean, you're dating a man that you can barely, you cannot walk with him on the road. You're dating a man that you cannot call at any hour that you want. You're dating a man that he can pick his wife's call when he's with you, but cannot pick your call when he's with his wife. I mean, you're dating a man that, yes, he might give you everything, but you can always have access to him whenever you want to. There are a lot of disadvantages that comes with dating married men, but yet, as it stands, no matter the preaching, everything we are doing, even on social media, some people still prefer the married men. I don't know if it's because, you know, these married men will always do everything to keep them, so that they don't come out to make it known to the main wife, the main chick. Like they call it the side chick and the main chick. So some of them, I think some of these ladies, they might prefer these married men because they don't want them drama. A young guy might be giving you too much drama, wanting all your attention, wanting all your time. I think like this case I had, the single guy will want to be on phone with her, want to talk with her, spend some time, you know, talking with her, conversing and planning things. But she's okay with the married man because the married man does not give her too much trouble. So the married man comes when she's not there, when he's not there, yeah, her life is okay. But I want to look at it like how comfortable is this kind of life? That's the thing that is more than me. Like you are okay with, so you're sharing a man knowing that that man goes back to, you know, have intimacy with the wife. I had another couple here. It was a married man dating another married woman, and it was so funny because the married man said he only has peace when the woman is menstruating. That's to say that he has peace when the husband cannot have anything to do with that his side chick because she is menstruating. But when she's not menstruating, the husband have access to her body, and so he is sleeping and he's not able to sleep, but he's sleeping beside his own wife. So besides, this thing is more complicated than we think. It's not just the married men dating the single ladies, even the married men with the married women and the married women with the married men. It's a complicated one. But I'm happy that topics like this are coming up so that we can inform and educate the society. There is no way side chick, no matter how much you trust and depend on a married man, the truth is that that is somebody else's husband, except you want to be a second wife. I'll come back, Mr. Leo.
So Ambe Valentine, this issue of, but some of these ladies say they prefer married men because married men seemingly are more responsible. Before you get married, you should be responsible. If you can take care of one, you may be able to take care of them also. And single men, maybe they are single because they have to find their feet.
Yes, Mr. Leo, I'm very sure I mentioned this earlier here. You see, there is a life that a married man is obliged to live. Even if at all what happens, that particular cycle of marriage confines him to a particular way of life. If you look at it critically, a married man has the mentality of a father, not a free boy. And every father's interest is to see the children grow. So when you look at a married man going out with a girl, he's not just interested in carrying the girl to go to nightclub, drink whiskey, pop champagne, sex like free boys do. The married man will be thinking on how to build your life the same way he builds his children's life, the same way he builds his wife's life. All those girls who are going out with married men will tell us with all sincerity that the hot life you live with your free boys, going to nightclub, going to snacks, drinking whiskey, entering nightclub, going from one place to another is not with the married people. The married man is asking you, what is your project for now? What is your vision for now? What's your educational program for now? I think I should invest, because the married man is building you towards a future and a destiny. Because once you become a father, your focus now is towards the growth and well-being of your children, the growth and the well-being of your child. You will hardly see a married man taking a girl to go to the nightclub. You will hardly see a married man taking a girl to go to the beach. You hardly see money now. Now, a free boy can take that money and spend on you in nightclubs, in beaches, yet he cannot bring something substantial out of your life. A free boy can take that money and put on you through dresses, yet he cannot build a career in your life. But a married man, when he looks at you, says, okay, I think you are going out with me, I should help you. I should give you the opportunity to either have a concours while you are going out with me, or I give you an opportunity to travel abroad, to go and settle your life there, or I give you an opportunity to also build a business of yourself. But married men are building oriented, while free boys are, how do I put it, they are Casanovas. They like jumping from one place to another. As a matter of fact, married men have a constructive program for every side chick they have. As a matter of fact, every time they see you, they are interested to see what you have amounted to in life. But the free boy does not have that in mind. The free boy just wants to use you, jump. I'm not against free boys, so I'm not against free boys. Don't shoot arrows here. We are trying to compare and contrast. So you see, hardly the girls who go out with married men, they can tell you that married men are not interested in all this up and down, scattered life from one swimming pool to another, drinking whiskey, popping champagne beside the beach, going to nightclubs, trying to flex your muscles from one place to another. No, a married man is asking you, now you have gotten A levels. What is the next project of your life? Are you going to the university? Do you want to travel abroad? Do you want to write a concours? What have you done so far with this and so thing? They realize that the married man is so much interested in amounting you to something. So most girls want to go to where they give their lives meaning than where their lives are exploited. No matter how scattered a woman may be, she becomes very comfortable when she finds a man that wants to give her life meaning. And to some extent, a married man to some extent is established to a level where he has opportunities around him that a free boy may not have. Most of the married men sometimes are workers and government workers, civil servants, working in the parastatals, international businessmen, from one field or another. So the girl begins to see that one as a ladder through which she can find her way in life and destiny. I saw a girl who was very, very attached to a commissioner, and the commissioner was to go for a trip abroad. He took the girl abroad to America, and that's how he settled the girl. So the girls are beginning to find meaningful living in the lives of married men than the lives of free boys that would take them from one beach to another. So I think the dispensation that is evolving right now is also challenging a little to realize that you should not enter into a relationship just for fancy and for fun fair. You should enter into a relationship and come up with something substantial, because you will never see married men wearing short trousers and dancing in the beach. Please, I'm not promoting you to go and get engaged to marry men.
Let me read the message, Apostle. Good evening, Mr. Leo and the panelists. I dated a guy. Now I'm dating a married man. This man is a godsend in my life. He has established business, take care of me and many others. The man loves his wife, that I know, but that's not my problem as long as he's taking care of me. Single guys show me shaggy. This man has really helped me, and I can't joke with him. Cindy is right.
You are seizing words from my mouth. That's exactly. Yes. You are confirming what I'm just saying here. As a matter of fact, girls are not just interested in jumping into relationships this time around.
Say single guys show me shaggy.
A girl did a short video that was circulating on WhatsApp. I don't know if you saw that video. No. She said, married men take off you and they don't sex you the way single boys will sex you. So they will sex the living day out of you. Sorry for using that word, it's so harsh, but that is what that girl was saying. That she prefers married men than single men, because married men will give you money, take care of you, and they will not exploit you. Single boy will give you 5,000 francs. They will want to cut all the tendons in between your legs and break your spinal cord in bed. But a married man, he has a fatherly care. He touches you knowing fully whether you could be his daughter or his sister or even his wife. So he manages you with so much care.
Yeah, his daughter. What's he doing with you? Yeah, but Reverend, I've read another report there because I took time off to read so many reports about this. The reason why so many ladies in that research say that they prefer married men because these single guys are too clingy. They want to have their independence. They want to have time to do other things, and they prefer a married man who have to rush back to his home, take care of his own bed. When they need him, he's around. But these guys will be there from morning till night. These single guys.
Yeah. When you hear a lady saying that kind of thing, you just know that is a smart lady who has an agenda bigger than doing other things. What she's saying, she's simply saying that that when she is dating a married man, she has a bigger latitude to diversify. She can date about 3 different married men. That's what she's talking about. So she wants that if she's dating this married man, she can kind of work things out to have a timetable, so that this one is around when this one is not around, and so on. As against a single guy who will be there all the time. So it goes back to the selfishness and the moral decadence that I made mention of when I was indicating, or when I was introducing or making my opening statement. The honest truth is that a lady who thinks dating a married man is the way out to her relationship issues is a wicked lady, like the one who has written to us. Let her stop that nonsense and talk about shege that she's talking, because she herself she's not serious. Most of the people who do that, they will not allow their own husbands to budge an inch when they're in a relationship with the person, to shake an inch. So for them, it is very comfortable, it's very good to be testifying that a lady's husband is a God sent in her life. It's a very bad statement she used there. God cannot send somebody to come and be doing adultery and sexual immorality with you. It's not a true thing that it's a God sent. There is no way you can make that kind of testimony and we take it for a serious word. The honest truth is that
he's not a destiny helper.
He's not a destiny helper, not even at all. He's not a destiny helper. It's a wrong foundation. God cannot build on sin. God does not build on sin. To say maybe the mercies of God have prevailed for one reason or the other, God is showing mercy through the fact that the man is giving her things here and there. And one thing she doesn't know is that the things you are receiving from the man today, they may turn so sour to you and to your life and in your life tomorrow, because a woman is somewhere crying. Or you could be saying that the man, she knows that the man loves his wife. The man loves his wife and he's taking good care of her and is helping her. No, that kind of thing is not good. The honest truth is that when you discover that a man is married and is making advances towards you as a woman, in fact, don't allow something, don't build a life that karma is going to come up across to you tomorrow. Because when you do that, finally you get married, your husband is also going to find somebody out there and love you as you claim, and then be sponsoring another lady out there. The truth is that if the man concentrated his resources towards his family, the family will be better than the current situation. You cannot be testifying that kind of thing. Mr. Leo, this thing goes back to the fact that our society needs to redress certain things. The truth about people not being afraid, or not, in fact, being closer to, being more attracted to married women, that's ladies are more attracted to married men, is that they are not selfless. If they were a little more selfless, they would understand that there is a way a man will not be able to pay attention to his home when he is distracted the way they are distracted towards the lady that is outside there. Allow the man to pay full attention to his family. Yes, at times we say that no, there are ladies out there, there are side chicks out there that are going to make the man to be more conscious. But how many of them? And what kind of consciousness will a side chick give to a man in order for the man to be? It means the man was already for marriage. A man who is going to marry, that his own person that's going to put him on the rails is a side chick. That man was not married, was not qualified for marriage. The honest truth is that it is a wrong thing, and if we want to sugarcoat it to make it to look good, it will not help our society. Yes, the risk factor in it is that the woman will discover tomorrow. There are women who will stop at nothing to kill you when they discover you are dating their husbands, and there are ladies who are going to humiliate you. There are ladies that will pour hot water on you. There are ladies that are going to pour acid on you. There are ladies that are going to do the worst they can because they have discovered that you are going out with their husband. Now, the famous statement of, I did not know that he was married. Finally, when they know, they don't change their approach because they have known. Many women who said they did not know that the man was married, finally when they know. Yeah, by the way.
Yeah, but Reverend, what I'm saying is not what one lady says. I read studies, so most of the things I'm saying are based on studies. They have studied 1,000 women. This is what is prevailing.
So the majority now becomes the right path?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that
That's
they're
what
right.
I'm saying. So I'm trying to say that deploring it, whether it is done by one lady or by 1,000 ladies, it is wrong and should be deplored. It is wrong and should be deplored.
They should seek the face of God.
They should seek the face of God. They should be able to keep themselves. And people forget to know to also that at times when you are single and you decide to concentrate with a married man, there are times your own husbands that will approach you, they are afraid to come and compete because they see the way the man has kept you comfortable, they see the way the man is lavishing you with money, and they think that if they come there and maybe he wanted to buy you a phone and things, in fact he's struggling with his small techno, and the man has brought iPhone Max Pro 11 and has given to you. No, he's like, how will I do with my techno of 55,000 that I bought to come and give? So already you are scaring the people who would have come and end up settling with you, because the truth is that except the man was going to be or is going to be a polygamist, the man will not get married to you. He will only turn around with you until at a certain point in time he will dump you and go for another fresh wine. So the truth is there is no reason for you to to cling to somebody's husband and be distracting him from concentration on his family. It is wicked.
Okay, so there's no need. But these guys are very clinging. These single guys, many ladies say they want their independence, they want to do other things. But if they settle down with single guys, the single guy wants to know where they went to, who they are discussing with, and almost everything. But this married man, maybe he's at the job site, also involved with family issues, involved with the issues with madam, and will not have 100% time on them, so they can also do other things.
Yeah, Mr. Lee, before I answer, I want to answer Madam Bilam Patricia, who is writing about Sam, saying that I'm supporting side chick business. Madam, when you are following a debate, you should be able to understand the topic of the debate and know what we are trying to pass across. We are trying to explain the reasons
why it's not as
most ladies prefer married men. Not like we are promoting side chick business. Please grow up. That's to correct you. To answer what Mr. Leo said, that the younger guys are clinging more on the ladies and does not give them the freedom that they want. The ladies should also understand that before that man became a married man, he was a free guy. And if at all, so women did not accept that man as a single guy, they will not see him as a married man. So trying to make a mess of single guys clinging on you, you must understand that man you are getting married to, the married man you are rushing after also had a girl when he was also single. And he must have clinged on that girl when he was single. Now, if everyone wants to avoid a single guy because they clinged on ladies, then the married men wouldn't have gotten married because they were once single men. Nobody is born a married man. Every married man was once a single man. And because the married man, a lady was ready to accept that man as a single man, today you now see him as a married man, and that is that good. Number two, most of the ladies who accepted those men as single men accepted them in their poorest stage, accepted those men when the men had nothing, accepted those men when the men did not see the light of the day. They were the ones who persevered with the man, that walked with the man, that also supported the man to amount to where he is right now. I think most of us want ready-made. That's the reason why most ladies chase after married men. They want ready-made. They want already baked cake. Because most ladies do not have the patience to go build with a man. And when a man has built to a certain, and you are hearing this thing that about married men, is most rich married men. You are hearing about married men, it has more to do with the rich married men. A broke married man whose wife is already insulting him, a lady cannot find interest in that kind of person. I'm telling you the truth. The only thing that can attract a lady to a broke married man has to do with, intercourse. Because some men are very good in that area. At least you don't have money, they have satisfaction to give you. And they will give you to the extent that you may want to stay with them, even when they have nothing to offer you. But at least that area they can offer. So the idea of thinking that single boys or single men cling on you, they don't give you that right. That woman that you are about to go see the husband, that man also has once clinged on the woman and did not give the woman the right. Now, you want to go and enjoy a man who did not give a woman right because the man will give you right. What makes you think he will give you the same right? Because I know of married men also that will not allow you have another man. They will tell you they are investing in you, they are spending on you. The attitude they had over their wife, they have transferred it to you because they are envisaging you becoming a second wife. And he cannot be having a woman he wants to have as a second wife, then somebody is taking his own part of the national cake on the other angle. So it's very delicate. Yes. So that is it. And I think that is the reason why most ladies go after married men, because they believe that the married men first and foremost are afraid of scandals. A single guy is not afraid of scandal. A married man will not hold you in the street one day and begin to beat you, because on what grounds is he beating you? If you expose him publicly, what will happen? Because the married man, first of all, is a criminal. That is a hidden criminal. So he will not want to be exposed in public. So a lady will want to marry, stay with somebody that she can blackmail and tell, if you try, I will tell your wife. And immediately a man hears that, they will tell his wife, fear catches him. But now for a lady who knows that the guy has nothing to be ashamed of, the guy has no skeleton in his cupboard, the guy has no fear anywhere, she will not find it comfortable. The guy will beat you in the street for not responding to his calls, for taking his money and eating or wearing his dress in the street. I have seen a guy remove a lady's dress in the street, say, "I the dress you go follow another man." He has nothing to lose. He has nothing. So, and this is the reason why you see we are trying to now compare the situation and be able to educate men to understand that most of those girls are not willing to be groomed, or they're not willing to persevere, build a man. That's the reason they find it easy to hang behind some married people. Also, some married men are famous. Women like what is attractive. They like what is attractive. If you are a married man that is famous, for instance, Mr. Leo is here, is famous. For instance, Eto is famous. George Weah is famous. Those are married people. Women are attracted with what glitters, what is making news, what is making name. So they want to be identified with that individual that is that famous, and let it be recorded in the annals of history that also I was somehow part of the man's life. I think I can even give my body for free because I want to be identified that I also was a part of this man's life. Some of us have grown in fame and influence. Ladies may want us not because they actually just want us, but because they want to identify with the fact that they had contact with this man that everyone is talking about. Because women are carried by fame, by popularity, by influence. So I think it is better for you to look for somebody you can build with than to go and hang on somebody whom somebody has struggled to build with. So Madam Patricia from Babusam, thank you for your submission, but I just said I should correct you. God bless you.
God bless you, Madam Patricia, and every one of you watching the program. Mr. Asanji Yvette is going to be coming back to also tell us more about what could be responsible for what we are observing in our community, because one research, the introductory note says that in the past, many thought that single ladies were tricked by married men into relationships, but today it is the ladies who are seducing. They are working so hard to get to bed with married men. Mr. Asanji Yvette, can you come in, please?
I always believe that no matter the advantages that comes with dating a married man, the disadvantages are still far, far, far too much. So if ladies choose to trust, to depend, to date a married man because they don't want drama, because they feel okay having him, even when only he's around. I will always say this. I've produced quotes on this. I said every side chick has a stage. In fact, side chick has stages. There's a stage where they are comfortable being side chicks. At that stage, they're okay sharing you. They're okay sharing you with the wife. They have no problem. Now that stage goes and goes and goes. Then there comes a second stage where they are gradually running out of patience, sharing you with your spouse. I mean, they now begin to want more of you. They now begin to want you to spend more time with them because they want more. They want you more and more and more. And so, we've even seen cases where side chick tells the man not to have intimacy with the wife. You dare not have intimacy with your wife. I mean, that's the level where side chicks go to. They stop you from having intimacy with your wife. They stop you from having intimacy with your spouse. They want to just have you. And it gets to the last stage where it is either you or you. And anybody that will be a hindrance will be kicked out of the way. They don't care how other person can be kicked out of the way. That's why I always say that sometimes men don't understand. When you're dealing with 2-3 women, you don't know what you're doing. Honestly, you're putting your life at risk. You're putting the life of your wife at risk. You're putting even your children at risk. You know why? Women can do very stupid things out of emotions. Women can act very stupidly because they're in love. There are women that can love you, and if it's not possible that they can have you all to themselves, nobody else will have you. They'll prefer to kill you. Either they prefer to kill the other spouse to have you, or they kill you and then let none of them have you. So sometimes when I see men playing with women's emotions, I just look at them, I pity them. I say, you don't know. You cannot be playing with a snake. When a snake beats you, no, you cannot say it was a mistake. You were playing with it. To tell you the truth, I don't know if I should say women are like that, but women are emotional people. Don't stir a woman's emotions if you don't mean serious business with them. We have men who talk with ladies and say, no, I don't have any intentions. I just find it pleasure talking with women. I said, what kind of pleasure? Look for another thing and do that gives you pleasure. Stirring women's emotions when you don't even have interest in dating them, having something serious with them, you're putting your life and the life of your spouse at risk. Unfortunately, most men don't look at it that way. And to tell you the truth, Mr. Liu, we have relationships that have ended only, in fact, it began on phone and ended on cell phone. It all began through maybe messenger. From messenger, maybe the guy got the lady's number. It went to WhatsApp messages. The relationship existed on WhatsApp messages, on calls, and then ended only on WhatsApp messages and calls, and they never met. Are there relationships like that? Yes. But it's still very dangerous because not every woman can love you and unlove you when you tell them to go away. Because some married men will date women and say, okay, sorry, my wife has discovered our relationship, so please go your way, let me go my way. Now you went and stir feelings out of her, and when those feelings are coming to life, that's when you want to shut them out. Some don't easily shut out like that. Some fight back. So I don't know what women or ladies would prefer. Like the lady I talked about, she's here now single. I don't know if she has plans of getting married to the man as a second wife. People keep saying that we have more women to men. But I've always said this: if God said He created men and women, it means that God knows what He's doing. If men are short now, it should not be okay. If it's your personal problem as a man, how many do you want to marry so that you can solve this problem? Let us keep aside certain things, excuses of doing bad things. Women, ladies that prefer to date married men, I don't know their reasons, but I always say it. What if that man already signed monogamy? Okay, if you're expecting him to let go his wife and marry you, be rest assured that tomorrow he will let you go and marry another woman. In fact, the same way you took a man or a woman from another person, that's the same way they can take them away from you. Any man that can be stolen, any woman that can be stolen, can equally be stolen. You dare not trust such people. Thank you so much, Mr. Liu. I'll be coming back for the second topic.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asanji Yvette. But you raised an issue of these side chicks who would want to be with you, but after with time, they want to also start equating themselves to your wife. Is that not also a trap or a danger, Reverend?
It's a danger to all the parties involved.
Okay.
One, a danger to the lady that is trying to equate herself to somebody's wife. Two, a danger to the man who has allowed his wife and sold his wife so cheap to the point that an outsider, a side chick, will be trying to equate herself to his wife and then to his wife. In that there are people who, when they start thinking so, they can stop at nothing to eliminate your wife. That's one thing people don't know. When you go cheating on your wife and you build a kind of bond with the woman outside, the woman can eliminate your wife in order to take her place. The woman can do anything she can in order to take your wife's place. So there is a very huge danger in this thing. And when these men who cannot restrain themselves go out there, at times they are too foolish not to draw the lines clearly, to know that this lady is just a temporary factor in his life, while his wife is a permanent factor. And this is one of the reasons that will build the effrontery in that woman to want to equate herself with the man's wife. This is a very serious issue that men are supposed to take very special attention at. If you have gotten too itchy that you cannot concentrate with your wife and you must have a side chick out there, you make sure that when you are with that side chick, if your wife has a weakness, bury the weakness inside of you. Don't begin to sell your wife outside to a side chick. 2, if your home has a challenge, don't carry the challenge and go and be announcing to the woman as if the woman has become your counselor to which you take your issues to. If your home has a difficulty, it is not a woman that is going to come and solve. The woman is only going to aggravate the things, because at times when you speak of some of these things to her, she will ask you to stay over with her. I beg your pardon, Apostle.
So you finally give the man right to go and meet the other month. He's explaining.
And be explaining and be explaining issues about your home to a side chick. So this kind of thing is a very huge trap to marriages. Women are supposed to be very careful the way they also manage themselves with their husbands, because there are some men who are still boys. They appear to be manly, the beards and all the other features appear to present them to be men, but inside of them they are still boys. So the wives are supposed to try to see how they help some of these men if you know that your man is this type. Now I go back to these side chicks. I said something which Madam Asanji has added to it, and Apostle Ambe also said it, that most of the times when they are indulging into this issue of trying to take over somebody's husband, they forget that tomorrow they too will get married. As you get married tomorrow, somebody is also going to take your own husband on wholesale. It will have been karma that is coming across for you. If you can try as much as possible to avoid, when a single lady is going out with a single man, at least it is somehow we can understand it's a mitigating factor, though sexual immorality is sexual immorality. But if it is among singles, it can be a little bit understandable, because these people maybe they can begin like that and end up in marriage, though it's not the right formula. But when it is that a man is married already and you are doing everything within your powers to see that the man remains your own, or the man pays more attention to you than to his wife and to his children, there is a very, very big evil in what you are doing. There are some women who will, in fact, they will ask the man to separate his dresses into 2. Part of them are with her, and then part are with the other person. Each time she will be asking questions to understand the challenges that the man has with his wife or in his home, in order to fill in those gaps and then give the man a kind of consolation, of which most often men forget that if the woman that you are trying to keep out there, or who is trying to pull you out there, was faced with the same challenges that your wife is facing, she is going to perform less than or worse than your wife's performance. For example, your wife has you to take care of, she has the kids to take care of, she has her home to manage, she has your in-laws to manage, but this woman comes in just once a while to tell you all the romantic stories she can tell you, give you the food she can give you. She has maybe her room or her apartment that she keeps all alone. She can dry clean it, and it can be as clean as whatever. Her beddings can be as clean as whatever. But your wife has many people, your family members to take care of, and yet you are not as wise as to be able to draw that line between a woman that is out there just to distract you from your home. So women who are yet single, please make sure that you are building on a foundation that tomorrow it will not tend to fight you, because that is the tendency. If you keep trying to distract people's husbands, tomorrow you will be paid in those same coins, and it will even be worse, because somebody will even take your own husband and you will never see the man again.
Yeah, but is it enough to send this warning message? Are the women who are married today actually aware that there are wolves outside ready to devour their husbands, and that they should take extra care? Because We are talking about a society that is bad. It's the Bible that says the heart of man is desperately wicked.
Yes.
We're talking as if, okay, we now live in a world of saints where people reason the way we do. Are we aware that there are wolves out there who are ready to devour anything around?
I wouldn't want to accept that statement from you, Mr. Liu.
Okay.
We will not call the people who are out there as wolves.
Okay.
It would appear this coming together between men and side chick is purely the side chick responsibility. That's why we are trying to coin it here. There are very irresponsible men that go after side chick. As a matter of fact, many men take money to hypnotize these young girls and pull them closer. When they come closer now and begin to explore the relationship, we now tend now to condemn and blame the girl, not knowing the kind of financial pressure.
Yeah, but the girls, they know that these guys are married.
Mr. Liu,
if I bring money to convince you and you know that I'm married and that this relationship is going nowhere, why are you engaging with
you? Wouldn't know the kind of situation you find the girl in. The girl could be in a situation that is very desperate, and then she sees that one as a way out. Please, I think we should be able to balance our argument because it looks like, it looks like we are trying to throw the girls to be something else. There are terrible men out there.
Yes.
Terrible men that will hunt ladies and hypnotize these girls to the extent that the girls will not be able to even stand the confrontation anymore.
My wife
is frustrating me. And also,
my wife does not allow me to
it's a very huge danger. I said it's a very huge danger.
So it's delicate. Yeah. I think we are trying to make this girl appear like demons.
She's as a savior to help this man.
To help the man, yes. Because women, first of all, are emotional. They're emotional. A man moves into a young girl and begin to cry and begin to explain all the challenges he's going through. The woman begins to now have compassion and feel like, let me come here and here before you commit suicide. Before you realize emotions become so tight. I mean, let's try to. I am not. You know, one of the things about my presentation that I'm not sentimental. I don't bother what you say about me, but I think when we are about to educate the society, we should educate them on the balance. We are not going to throw coals of fire on the head of these girls, even though some of them are bad. There are also terrible men that would take news from their household and go and convince these girls and say, as a matter of fact, I'm accepting about to divorce her. I met a girl who came to my office and said she's going out with a man. I said, why? He said, because the man told me he's about to divorce. Have you heard that, Rev Kenneth? The man told the girl that he's about to divorce. Look at the kind of statement a man makes to a single girl, giving her hopes and confidence that the reason why he's with her because he wants to divorce his wife. Why would the girl not sit and wait?
Wait.
The girl will sit and wait.
And will not just be waiting, she will not be preparing the ground
to make sure that she fully takes over. So, and let us give it a balance also. Also, there are women who have also helped to push their husbands into the hands of these side chicks.
True.
Everybody is guilty in one way or the other. The side chicks are guilty, the women are guilty, and the men are equally guilty. So when we find out that all these people are guilty, we have to look for a solution and a way out. And that is the truth. Now, no matter how bad your wife may be, at least without her bad, she chose to stay with you.
Yeah.
She didn't run away from you. She didn't abandon you. She did not reject you. She chose to stay with you. We have heard about your wife's bad attitude. We have not heard about your own. Because for her to have stayed with you also, she has also accommodated your own bad attitude. Because we spoke the last time here, no man is perfect. That's the truth. Now, also the girls outside, some of them are even running away from these married men, but the married men will pursue. A man will call you, you go and meet him, you say, no, I'm not going to marry a man. Before you realize he has wired 50,000 in your phone, before you realize he has sent you iPhone, before you realize he comes and call you in a meeting, you sit down, he talks and bursts into tears and say, my heart is failing. If you don't take me now, my wife is giving me headache, I'm about to die. The girl now is moved with compassion, and takes her tender heart of kindness to help this man from committing suicide. Some also come and tell that we are already at the process of divorce, So please persevere with me. As soon as she's walking out, you are walking in. I mean, terrible, convincing, manipulative statements that drag these girls into this net. And then tomorrow we hold the girl and blame them. And there are also women also that cause hail and high water. Solomon says it's better to live on the roof of a house top than to live with a naggy woman in the same house. So sometimes these women, their naggy attitude push a man outside, and the man goes outside and meets a girl, and the girl begins to give him the opposite of what the wife is giving at home, and he begins to say, a man stays where he finds peace. He doesn't stay where he finds a wife. We have had all kinds of quotes on social media and everywhere say, a man stays where he finds peace. It means if he does not find peace in his house, if he finds peace in the house of a side chick, he will stay there. I think one way or another, each and every one of us is guilty in this act. The solution is this, and I bring it now clear to everybody. You, the side chick, you have no future with some children's father. One. You, the man pursuing the girl, you are laying a foundation for your children tomorrow. You, the woman that puts your husband under pressure, you are tearing your home apart. This is the reason why everybody must take responsibility to see how a home is successful. And some girls have tried the side chick stuff and they ended up becoming wives. They are also evangelists who are preaching a sermon of, I started with a married man, today I am married. So everybody has a testimony from one angle or the other. A girl would tell, my parents could not sponsor me until I met this man. I have a master's degree. At least if I don't have the man again, I have master's degree. They have something to hold on to. I met this man. I'm in Enam today. I'm a higher economy because of this man. I met this man. I have this shop in the market because of this man. So you realize that people have a lot of testimonies which they use to convince others to accept the fact that since you started going out with these single guys, all they do is take you to the nightclub, they will make love to you, they will take you to one snack bar, they will take you to beach. That time is far spent. We're in an age whereby as a lady you should find for someone, look for somebody that can give you proper orientation and make you settle in life. Yeah, with all these counsels put together.
But it should not be a married man.
Mr. Leo, that's what I'm trying to let you understand. That even if we try to twist it here and try to cover it, these ladies find such persons in married
Okay,
people.
let me take the views of those who are watching us here. It should not be like it's Reverend Tato or Apostle Ambe who is saying this. What are the people saying? Good evening, Mr. Leo. The program is so interesting. Thank you. I would like to say that when a lady says she does not like single guys because they are too clingy, I think that it's because she has not met the right person, or both have nothing to do. Because if a single has plans or is engaged in business or a corporate work same as the girl, then I don't think there will be any problem, because most girls now just like to be cared for. Okay, greetings, Mr. Liu, and to all the panelists. Seeing how ladies are so comfortable and willing to date married men is disheartening. You suffer with your husband, and when he's stable, he decides to spend all the money on side chick. Married women are going through hell because these men pay attention only to their side chicks, even financially. The wife is there suffering with the children, and this is the reason most homes are broken. Please, let ladies have conscience and stop following married men. Blessing is writing from Amanda. Okay, good evening, Mr. Kum. The topic is good. More grace to the men of God. A single girl dating a married man is nothing but a langa throat. Okay, lady don't want to suffer. Gladys is writing from Amanda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Elizabeth from Buddha. Married men are the best. They take good care of women. They understand very well. Okay. Hi, Mr. Liu. I'm Larissa from Yaoundé. I'll prefer married men because they respect you and even treat you like a queen. Single men think you are just an option among many and have little or nothing to say. But these married men listen to your worries. Try solving them as soon as possible, and even give you hopes when you feel like giving up. Single men have always wanted you to justify.
Okay. No, it's us. So you will think that was when they say it's here from the audience.
Okay, these are ladies talking. They say the single guys want you to justify everything. Yes.
Single guy now, they want to justify every single kubu. A married man calculate the whole sum.
And do wholesale settlement.
That's what they get said. The single guys want to justify every single kubu, but the married man just does the whole sum.
He says that, and even okay, the married men will try solving your problem as soon as possible and even give you hopes when you feel like giving up. Single men will always want you to justify your experience, but married men, they just need the total amount of
That lady is selfish.
That's a lady writing.
She's a selfish
They
lady.
say Rev Kenneth promoting. That's a lady writing. Go and stop her. She's not on television.
Okay, this one say, between Mr. Leo, a married man can be a God sent to another man.
I told you put it. Society. The society is decaying.
Can we take a break? Can we take a break, please? Welcome back. You're watching Prime on my media Prime. We are moving straight to our second topic for tonight. Yeah, it's been a crazy one this evening. I will not want to read some of the messages because they are going to only cause us to be laughing throughout. Well, our second topic has to do with asking why people are no longer afraid of this ring. A man sees a woman with a ring and a woman sees a man with a ring. It no longer means anything, Apostle. Can we explain? Is it the fact that morality has gone down the drain in our society?
Yes, Mr. Leo. The moral decadence of our society today is very bad. I think it's a fulfillment of scriptures.
Okay.
Yes, fulfillment of scriptures. The Bible says that because iniquity shall abound in the latter days, the love of many shall wax cold. So there's going to be a high rate of iniquity. Why? We have been exposed to sin now more than ever before. Technology has brought sin right close to us inside the bedroom. As a matter of fact, spirits are transmitted through images and through sounds. So sometimes people are trapped in this web of immorality. And the fear for married women, the fear for married men is no longer there. Somebody said the ring is too small to identify who is married. You should sew uniform for married men and married women. Because people no longer see rings. They should sew us uniform. If you are married, you should sew uniform. I think the uniform will speak better than any ring.
You should put a signboard on your face.
On the face, yeah. But it doesn't scare people. It doesn't scare people because you see, like I said, we are in a moral decline. It's a society where morality has actually lost its place. So people are no longer afraid of who is married and who is not married. These things were like taboos in the past. As a matter of fact, judgment was meted upon individuals who attempted things like that. But you see, we have entered into a dimension of moral decadence where there's no judgment to some of these things. In those days in our villages, if you were caught into adultery, you were either stoned, right from the Bible days. In John chapter 8, the woman was caught in adultery and the penalty was that she was supposed to be stoned to death. And there were communities in Africa and those that adopted that. Either you were banished from that community or you were stoned to death, or certain draconian measures were taken to disgrace you and embarrass you in the entire community, or you walk around the market square the entire day naked. And that's is the way it was treated. But I don't think there is a law even fighting adultery today or fornication. Apart from the fact that we discipline it in church and we pray against it, I don't think there are some judicial measures put in place to really deal with that. And if at all they even exist, who is engaging it? Who is engaging it? Except a few individuals now that go mystical when they find out that you are going out with their wives. I think no measures put in place to actually fight such. If actually something is a crime and the crime is to be fought, then I think penalties and very strong judicial procedures are supposed to be put in place to fight it. The fear of the penalty, the fear of the judgment, the fear of the judicial procedures attached to that crime will scare people. For instance, those who are smoking Indian hemp, they hide it because there are procedures put in place to arrest you and even send you to jail. Those who take cocaine do it in hiding. But now it's very, very so cheap to the extent that I saw that there's a sex for sports this time around. I think it is Olympics. Sex for in Sweden, yes.
That's sex as a sporting,
as a sporting discipline. So I don't know if at all there's any value again when it comes to the issue of sex, because I don't think it is married men who do that. The people who are doing that sport are not married people, so it doesn't give them any legality. Besides, their privates are exposed in public. Like I said the other time, a friend of mine who is in Durban in South Africa, he said the cheapest you can get in South Africa is not a bottle of beer, it's sex. That sex is cheaper than a bottle of beer in South Africa. So there is no value. It tells you the level of our moral decadence. And that's the reason why the ring has no significance. As a matter of fact, this ring is just put for formality. Even you wear ring or you don't wear ring, whether you wear ring or not, it doesn't scare anybody. People, as a matter of fact, will remove the ring and put on the ground when they are with their side chick. When they come back home, they wear the ring. The ring has an environment on which it operates. The ring is environmental. When he goes out of the house, he's no longer marrying. And when he comes back, he's marrying. So that fear is not there. That fear is not there. And then education, to some extent, you realize that in those days there were a lot of battles. When a woman finds a man sleeping with a wife, there was fighting. But a lot of information has gone in the end that women don't even fight again. They are tired. They are just watching things happen. Yes.
Okay, they're tired. Why do not only women, the men themselves, they see women with rings and they go scouting for these ladies?
You know, I know why our expectations towards that is being shattered. It's because we have misunderstood the essence of a wedding ring.
Okay.
A wedding ring was never put in somebody's finger to be a hedge around a person's marriage from external sources. Also, when a woman or a man is putting a ring in the husband's or the wife's finger, they don't say, with this ring I thee wed, and as I give it to you, may it scare all women from coming around you. May it scare women or men from coming. He says, I give it to you as a symbol of my love and my fidelity. So the essence of this ring on my finger has to do with what my wife wants to give as value to our marriage. And the one on her finger represents what I want to give as value and as commitment, as devotion to our marriage. So every other person else is a third party whose life and everything is inconsequential to this ring on my finger. It was never intended to be something to scare people. If we think a ring should scare people, then we should revisit the weddings during weddings before they are given. It's ever said, I am giving you this ring as a sign of my love, my fidelity, my devotion to our relationship.
I think what Lo is trying to ask here is that from a generic point of view, this ring communicates to any layman that this person is married.
No, I'm coming, Apostle.
Okay.
Yes, that one is an underlying factor. I'm trying to say that we should not pay too much, we should not lay too much emphasis on the fact that you should communicate, but we should lay emphasis on the fact that you putting on the ring when you want to mess up, because I don't remember, rape is not very common in our society now, not per se, especially among grown-ups, like maybe you say they rape a married man or they rape a married woman. They rape a small girls now. If I lay or if I attach the premium of the vow I made to my wife, she will, if I attach a premium on the vow she made to me before giving me this ring, when I want to mess up, it should be a pointer to me more than it is to somebody who should admire me and want to come towards me. And if she should accord the importance of the words I made when I was giving her the ring, it should also be a hedge to her first and foremost. So how many times have we heard that a man went out with a woman out of rape? That the man, like, let's say, a while ago, we're talking about cheating. We're talking about keeping side chicks. It is always an issue of them agreeing. Whether you sympathize before agreeing, but that you people agreed somehow. So this thing has to do with society trying to redefine the essence of the ring in somebody's finger, in that you should be looking at, like, a woman who approaches me, though I'm putting on a ring, is more to blame than me, who is supposed to protect my marriage because I took my wife's ring and I gave her my own ring. And if we go back to these dynamics and understand that it is us, the married people, who are supposed to hedge our marriages by our own selves, we will be expecting that if somebody approaches me or is trying to make advances towards me as a man or as a woman, though married, it is my responsibility to build a hedge around my marriage. And these things are going to die a natural death. We are not going to be blaming somebody or trying to blame a group of persons that they are trying to cheat or they are trying to mount pressure on people to get married. The challenge we are having in our society is that the degree to which the society has laid a degree of tolerance on sexual immorality is what is taking us to these things we are talking about. Apostle just said it. In the past, it used to be a taboo to see that, you know, somebody is married and is just giving in like that.
Yes, no, of course.
There are traditional practices that used to be practiced on a lady, or in fact, mostly used to be mostly on women. Yes. That if a woman is caught in an act of adultery, there's something in our diet called chula. In fact, the whole village is going to gather in a square, in a ground like this, and then she will be. In fact, they will prepare some herbs and she'll be putting and making confession until she has confessed all the things she's done and all the men she has slept with. Then the thing will stop boiling, the thing will stop foaming, and it's going to end there. But do we see that again? I don't remember when I last heard that thing. It has become so common. So the degree of tolerance that society has accorded to the fact that sex can be, be as easy as we are making it now, is what is also causing the problems. So I am trying to highlight at least two things here. One, the fact that married people are not doing as much as they're supposed to do in order to hedge their marriages. Two, society has given a certain degree of latitude and tolerance to sexual immorality that if nothing is done, we are going to be having it on the streets before long.
It's already there.
It's already there.
So you're going to have it.
So it is something that we are supposed to revisit as a society and as married people, to know that it is not a ring that is going to hurt your marriage. It's not a ring. What about people who, in fact, when they intend doing it, they remove the ring and put, how are you going to blame the lady now? They remove the ring intentionally and keep, so that nothing will identify them as a married man, because we think it's a ring that's supposed to hurt our marriages. At that time, what about the vows you made as a sign of my love and fidelity? Does fidelity not mean that you are going to be faithful to your wife or faithful to your husband? Is that not the meaning of fidelity? Fidelity means you will be faithful. You will not have sexual transactions with another man that is not your husband, or with another woman that's not your wife. That's the meaning of fidelity. So we shouldn't be making as if it's a ring that's going to come and, in fact, is removing this ring and keeping here. Is it as serious as removing my dresses and hanging somewhere and sleeping with a lady?
Who introduced the ring in the first place? Those who got married with their rings, how did they keep their fidelity?
That is
okay,
it.
Let's also take a listen to Mr. Asanji Yvette tell us why people no longer fear rings in the hands of either the fingers of either the man or the lady.
Good evening once more, Mr. Dio. I would like to start the second topic by explaining the rings, because sometimes you see people wear rings on different fingers and you don't understand what they stand for. So if somebody is putting on a ring on this finger, which is the thumb, it talks of willpower, it talks of authority, it talks of the strength of their kind of character that they have. Then this is the index finger. When somebody puts on a ring on this index finger, it's talking about the leadership, their leadership expertise. It talks about authority equally, ambition, confidence, the kind of confidence they have in themselves, and the self-esteem. Then you have this, which is the middle finger. Now this middle finger talks of individuality. It talks of personal identity, their self-worth, their confidence. the responsibilities that they have. That's for the index finger. Then you have this, which is the ring finger. It talks of affection, status, relationship status, love, the kind of commitments you have. And then you have this pinky finger. Pinky finger stands for what? Personal achievements and self-confidence. So these are the various fingers, and sometimes you see people where they put on rings on almost all the fingers. So you don't know if they're married, they have strong willpower, they're good in leadership. People just wear rings without knowing what the ring stands for. Now, coming back to the ring, you know, it goes right back into the Roman. That's the ancient Roman times, that they believe that you wear a ring on the left hand, on this ring finger, that is the second to the last finger here. And the reason is because they believe that there is a vein on this finger that goes directly to the heart. So when you wear something here, it means that thing is dear to you. You know, it's that's why this ring finger symbolizes commitment, it symbolizes love, it symbolizes that you're taking ownership. You know, in those days, they used to say men they don't put on rings. They rather put rings on their wives to show that I own this woman. But thank God today, both men and women put on the rings. Now, during engagement, equally, you can begin to ask questions like, why does the man engage the woman? To show that the woman is taken. But he is moving about like that. So if it's that the woman needs to be known that she's taken, I think we should also look for something that shows that the man is equally taken, to avoid confusion. But unfortunately, we live in a world where this ring that is a small but significant piece of metal, it was supposed to symbolize, like I said, ownership, that this person is owned by somebody else. It was supposed to symbolize that this person is off the market. This person is not available. Unfortunately, it rather attracts people. I mean, some people just prefer to date married men or married women. This ring symbolizes vows. Unfortunately, sometimes not everybody will put on their rings. But it is important, even though it is not in our African culture. But it is the Western culture that we have copied, and so we cannot completely say we can completely separate our lives away from the Western culture, because we have already absorbed a lot about the Western culture. Now, even at the level of this civil status, you see that this is still done as an exchange of vows. So this reminds people of their vows. Now, when you see a man wearing this, they have already taken a vow to be committed, to love, you know, to be owned by somebody. But people still come towards you, and sometimes they are still like, I don't have a problem sharing you with your husband. I don't have a problem sharing you with your wife. I mean, so people are just very comfortable. So this ring that should have scared people is rather attracting a lot of people. People who believe that dating a single man or a single woman is going to bring me drama here and that. They prefer that, okay, at least if I'm with you, your husband will take care of half of your responsibilities, or even more than that, and then I do the rest. Some people just believe that dating a married man or a married woman is free of drama. But I'll always ask, for how long? For how long should we keep on going this way? And if you're watching us today and you've been dating a married man or you've been dating a married woman, please, Bible says, whatever God has put together, let no man put asunder. There are certain cases that you're attracting to yourself. Worse is when you're a single man or a single woman dating a married man or a married woman. You cannot be believing God for your own wife or for your own husband, and you still go about dating other people's spouses. Don't ask God for something that you're already taking other people's, you're taking things that belongs to others. So if you're watching us today and you are dating a married man or a married woman, please, you cannot live this kind of life forever. Except you don't want to have something of your own. And know that you cannot be the reason why a home is breaking, and you believe to use those broken pieces of somebody's home to build your own home. That is a word for somebody. Thank you so much, Mr. Leo. Please televiewers, you can follow me on social media, Councillor Mrs. Asanji Yvette. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councillor Mrs. Asanji Yvette. Do I call you Apostle, Reverend Mrs. Asanji Yvette? Okay. Apostle Ambe Valentine Ngwa. The issue is, these ladies who are coming in to date either a man are wasting their time, or the man who is going to dating a woman is wasting his time. Can a man or a woman love 2, 3 women? Can they sincerely love? Because the tendency is to say that you can only love one person in your life.
Well, I wouldn't want to say can a man or a woman love 1 or 2, 3 persons. It depends the kind of love.
No, we know what we're talking about.
Men who get married to more than one wife love more than one woman. Yes. Those who get married to a first woman, got married to a second woman, got married to a third woman, they love the women and they live with them. So marriages, polygamous marriages are very successful because we are as Christians, we refuse polygamy and we have denounced it. But I've seen a man who has gotten married to more than one wife and they live successfully. It doesn't mean that because our religion does not accept something, the thing is totally condemned. No.
The Muslims
get married to more than one wife and they live successfully. That's their way of life. But we are not permitted to live that kind of life. So a man can love more than one woman. It's very possible.
Okay.
Very, very possible. A man can love.
What about a woman?
Well, a woman loving more than one man, I don't know. Because from biblical point of view, you will realize that to some extent, people had more than one wives. But I'm yet to find in the scripture where a woman had more than one husband. I think God is our blueprint. God is our pathfinder. God is the one that sets the record. If God shows us in scriptures that men were able to stay with more than one wife, then it is absolutely possible that a man can have interest in more than one woman and marry them successfully. And for the Bible, we've never seen a woman having more than one husband. It is absolutely impossible. Now, the New Testament says if a man desires the office of a bishop, he desires a good thing, and he must be the husband to one wife. Now, Bible is clear on that text by saying that the one that wants to carry out the responsibility as a bishop is supposed to have one wife. That's a prescription for who wants to be a bishop. But the idea that the woman having more than one husband, to me, I think that's the reverse. There is a problem with that. There's a problem with that.
Okay. I don't know who will react to this. Mr. Liu, I'm Divine writing from Kumba. Mr. Liu, tell me how people will be afraid of a ring when they are not even afraid of heavy pregnancy. My wife was coming home from antenatal with a 7 months pregnancy. A guy was asking after her. She even showed had him the ring and her heavy pregnancy. The guy even said he's more comfortable pregnant.
That's the level of the moral decadence in our society today. That's the moral decadence. That's the moral.
Where are we going to, Apostle?
It happens. What of men who get married to pregnant women without knowing you impregnated them? I've seen a situation like that. Got married to one who is about 6 months pregnant, took her in, continue from where the person stopped until the woman delivered, and then from there he continued with the woman. That's it. It's how decayed the society is today. That's why the young man is telling that how can people be afraid of common ring when they're not afraid of pregnancy? You and I know that the most horrible state of a woman is when she's pregnant. What attracts you towards a woman in that horrible state? Because that's the time they lost their beauty, they become very complicated. As a matter of fact, they become expensive to manage. And then what is attracting you towards a woman who is somebody else's wife? My brother. That's what the trouble is. So we are on air. We are here to educate people. We may say things that may not be satisfactory to you, but we are dealing with a topic, and once we give a topic, we do everything possible to communicate that topic effectively. You may have your own perception about us or how you think about us. It doesn't move us. That's one thing you must learn as a viewer, take this from us. It should go deep within your head,
okay,
that we are here to educate you based on the topic that is given to us. But if you think you can educate, you can also come on air and then try your luck.
How do we explain that this ring, you said that first and foremost we do not know the essence of a ring, but just the notion that Mr. Rev Kenneth is married and maybe their wife is also married, where do we get this courage? And where do we lay the blame? Where do we miss it? That in the past people were afraid to corner the wife or husband of somebody, but today the issue is becoming the more normalized.
As I said now, Mr. Leo, the challenge is that society is sinking very deeply, and only those who have refused to see.
Society is sinking. Where is that? Is it the church that's not doing their job? Is it the family that's not doing its job? Is it the school that's not doing its job?
It's a shared responsibility. Shared responsibility in that, one, as Apostle Ambe said, it is a fulfillment of the scripture of the last days.
Okay.
Two, followed by the fact that there are disciplinary measures that have been withdrawn from our educational milieus. So, morality has much to do with discipline. Yeah, the Bible tells us that the heart of a man is desperately wicked. There are things that you cannot edit out of the mind of the human being without some disciplinary measures that are dissuasive, that will not get the person get into doing the things. And the Bible also says that foolishness is bound on the heart of a child, but the rod of correction will deliver his soul from destruction. Now, all of these things I'm saying to boil down to the fact that there are some kind of disciplinary measures that have been taken out of our school milieu that have contributed to the fact that people are growing with a certain dimension of human rights perception that was not there yesterday. That you cannot discipline a child. For example, in those days, if you see that children are trying to develop a kind of romantic transaction between the two of them, a teacher can whip them. But now, do we have corporal punishment in schools again? You will tell them to go back to you suspend them from school. They will go. In fact, they stay home for maybe 8 days, and then their parents will come and drop them off in a jeep well air conditioned. It will be like they went and spent some time and enjoy themselves. I think I was in secondary school at the time, and I was told of some mates that were suspended. So when their dormitory master was passing, he saw how they had put their music and were dancing. They had to cut short that suspension and ask them to go back to school. So these things have to do with the way the society has decided to embrace certain things. The disciplinary measures that were being meted out on some kind of behaviors yesterday are no longer there, and the way we have tried to redefine some issues that yesterday were considered as evil, today we look at them as a form of modernity, as a form of experimentation. People are trying to experiment to see how some things happen in certain ways. So this thing has to do with a shared responsibility. The church has its own share, the government has its own share. We as a society, our cultural values, we are getting them to have loose ends to the point where we are no longer having some things we are under control the way they were yesterday. And if care is not taken, they are only going to be getting worse. And that is why we must have an understanding, our dear viewers, that when we are discussing some of these things which have to do with a challenge you are facing as a person, it is to your advantage and to the advantage of your generation after you and our society to avoid bringing forth arguments that are going to serve as excuses for you continuing in that particular thing we're talking about. Wrong is wrong. If it is something that is wrong, you can seek redress, you can seek counsel, you can try to say, okay, how do I go about this? We cannot be talking here and some ladies are comfortably saying that married men are the best. Some are saying that married men are God sent, in order to justify the fact that they receive shege from single men, and then now a married man came into their lives and kept them comfortable. It is wrong, however good it looks. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs that gains that you have out of deceit, they can taste good in your mouth, but they end up like concrete inside your stomach. There are things that you do today, you may feel that you may think you are comfortable, but the long run, the effect of those things tomorrow, they are not going to be as easy. For example, there is a cry that a woman will cry because her husband is not taking good care of her and the kids, because you have taken the woman or the man, on wholesale. The cry, the tears of that woman will not give you peace. the tears that woman is crying will not give you peace. And then you as the man, there are some women who, I recently, one woman spoke to me and said she had to undress and then, bend her buttocks to the husband and say, if it is that you have ever been entering into this, into my last, as they call it, right? In fact, if you keep cheating on me, it's going to haunt you. An elderly mama, she was talking to me and really crying at an advanced age, that this is what the husband is doing, that the husband has gotten to a point where he is sexually weak, but he is going around taking these drugs and herbs in order to be sexually more active. So she's asking that, but what has really gone wrong? So these things are a challenge to our society. We are not supposed to give a deaf ear to. There are issues that we are supposed to jointly address them and see how we can bring back at least some degree of sanity of to our society, because the society keeps thinking day in, day out, and we all have our roles to play. If the government also put in place some kind of dissuasive measures, that when somebody is caught into all of these things we're talking about, there is a kind of penalty, there are some kind of punitive measures that are put in place, at least it will reduce it. Going to the fact that we as a society, we have decided that we have to be using the external factors. But if our internal environment, that is our minds, our hearts, were given to the fact that we are supposed to hold our society in a kind of integrity, it is going to help us. For example, it is easier, or it is going to be more relevant for me to say I won't cheat on my wife because I know that it is a bad thing, it's a wrong thing for me to do, and then I do everything I can not to cheat on her, than to be that I will not cheat on her because if I do, maybe she would discover and get angry with me.
It should be a conscious
it should be a conscious decision that you take.
It should be an issue of values and principles. Yeah.
Values and principles. Yes, if we can adopt it as a system of values and principles in our society, it's going to help more than this issue of wanting also to have a ring, scare people away, or to have people, jeer at you because you've done it before you can stop it. That kind of thing is making us looking like we are drifting towards animosity.
Okay. Apostle Ambe Valentine Ngwa, this is actually very disturbing. I don't know why my image is. How do we make persons to be scared of either the ring of him or a married person?
Nobody can make anybody to be scared except the married person.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the persons who are married are the ones that are supposed to scare others from penetrating them, since there are no laws in the society. And now we live in a lawless society, a society that does not have measures put in place to deal with individuals who commit this crime. Then do yourself a defense. That's the truth. There is, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but somebody says there's a part of the law that the self-defense is very, very important. Now, if we live in a society where we don't have laws that deal with those who adulterate or those who fornicate, then I think you should become your own self-defense. There is no law that will catch anybody tomorrow and nail the person for committing adultery. There is no Ngomba house. There is no Juju house. There is no police station that will want to sentence you to life imprisonment. So the fear for the crime is not there because there are no consequences from a traditional point of view, from a judicial point of view, from a societal point of view. So what do? In a situation where there is no law, you build a defense mechanism around yourself. You are the first person to tell somebody that, hey, don't step closer. I am a married person. You are the first person to tell the other person that, please don't trespass. I have a vow I have kept with my wife for the past 10, 15 to 20 years. You are the one that builds a mechanism, because we don't expect the society or the government to solve every problem for us. As a matter of fact, the solution to most problems begin with us, the individuals. If the government has put certain measures in the society to fight certain crimes, I think we are the ones to start first and foremost fighting against that crime before the government comes to help to fight that crime. In a case where there are no laws put in place to fight a particular crime because probably they did not see the crime as being that serious, then you build a defense mechanism against that crime. If you enter into a boat and you are sailing somewhere and there is no law that says if the boat capsizes, the boat driver will be arrested, you have to put a life jacket. You have to hold a chip in your hand. In case the waters become rough, then you become survival of the fittest. You try to find your way out of the sea because there is no law guiding that if the boat sinks, the driver will be arrested. If the boat sinks, this will be put in place. No, you are in a place of lawlessness. So what do? You must build a safe mechanism. So we are not going to hold the government for not putting measures against adulterers or fornicators. God has condemned it in the word of God, but God's reaction of judgment is not quick and does not come spontaneously. So what do? It falls back on the individuals in question. The person who is confronted with that thing should be able to know the consequences, should be able to know the casualties that will follow later in case he indulges in such a crime. So what you have to do is to build yourself. There are no laws in the society that says if you drink Arata bomb, you'll be locked up. You are the one that guards against it. There is no law in the society that says if you are crossing the road, you should look left and right. If you don't look left and right, you are knocked down. Something will happen. You are the one that takes care of those things. There are so many things that we take care against. Sometimes we avoid drinking certain water, not because the water is good, but because the water is bad, and we know avoiding it will help us. So many things occur in your life that there are no judicial laws or traditional laws to judge those who bring those things in your life. It is you that have to be responsible. So I think in this area of adultery, we must be responsible. We must be responsible. And to be sincere, Mr. Lo, some persons are just being open. They are being frank. They are being frank. And they are being frank is helping us to understand on how to talk back to them. Because somebody should not come on air and play the holier than thou attitude when you know very well that you are caught up in this trap. What we have said here today could help somebody who thought that having an affair with a married man was a solution. Having an affair with a married man was some kind of a breakthrough, or having an affair with a married woman was some kind of a breakthrough. They were open and they shared it. So we have given them our own point of view and make them understand that it is not good. That and the persons who come on air who are living a very delicate. As a matter of fact, people know your testimonies. They know the way you are living. You come on air, you want to act as if you are an angel. By so doing, we will not be able to help you out of that mess. And to be sincere, most of the persons that come on air to insult are the same persons who are caught up in these crimes. Yes. And the worst thing that can ever happen is that when somebody comes and the person is open to express themselves, some of those people don't express because they want to defend it. They are looking for a solution. And we are here to proffer solutions to those problems. So I think somebody who has been in that act and saying that the man who is married is a God sent has had another perspective today, because Rev Kenneth has responded negatively to that act. And that's something the person had believed in for many years and was celebrating it and was even bold enough to come to the public and say that the man is God sent. You understand? So these are the things we come here to contribute. We are not superimposing our ideas on you. We are sharing what we think is necessary, as God has blessed us with a certain level of understanding in this area by experience and by grace.
Okay, in this area by experience and by grace, certainly you have a word for our brothers and sisters who are watching us, especially those who are single, because another research found out that single ladies are getting attracted and wanting to settle down with married men because single guys themselves are not ready to settle down. So there's that scarcity of guys to settle down. So the more we become responsible and wanting to settle down, it may ease the pressure on most of these ladies, because one of the factors that most of these researchers actually presented is the factor of age. Many ladies are aging out, and maybe these single guys are not responsible. They say, okay, let me just have a child with somebody who is responsible. Certainly you have a word for the single guys themselves.
Well, one of the things we always encourage guys is that when you are growing up and you start, you're advancing in age, make sure that you have your life as a project ahead of you. Make sure that you have a kind of plan. Roll out a plan for your life and begin to realize it one step at a time. If you grow, you're already getting into 15. Make sure that there is a plan. Look at your future. Look far into your future and begin to put certain things in place. Else, you'll be a playboy joking from here and there. You'll be a playboy jumping from one lady to another and not ready to settle a marriage. Forgetting that as the days are going by, age is catching up with you too. This aspect of us thinking that it is only women that age is catching up with them is a very bad thing. Society should also come to terms with the fact that in as much as age is a factor to women, it is a factor too to men. there is an age that you're going to get into that you will not have the strength to run around the issues that you can run around today. There is an age that you will not even have strength to bring up the children, because child upbringing does not have to do only with finances. There is this free work you have to do. Hey, get down from that chair. Don't climb on that table again. Go and sleep. Go and do this. You need strength to do all of this. But if you allow yourself such that you're getting married at 50, and then your strength is failing you at that time, the children are still very small, and in fact at times a child come and you say, oh, and then run away. You sit now like Eli in the Bible, Eli priest, who was very fat and old and who could sit on the chair, will not do anything. You sit there and you cannot do anything to the child. The child will grow to be a thwart in the society of which you could start building your life early enough. Most often, some of these are our guys who think that they will just be turning around and be giving themselves that there is time. It is because they have not planned themselves. Yeah, it's because they have not planned their lives. If you plan your life very well, you see that when you clock 25, you will start already at least having the that desire, and you'll be putting things in place to the point that before 30 or by 30 or thereabout, you should at least have considered marriage to be one of your priorities. Reason being that when you settle down in marriage, it will help you to plan certain things. Before then, you'll be turning around and you'll be distracted by many things. There are many factors that are going to distract you, as against the fact that if you were married, you'll be building and thinking of how you're going to invest in building your family. You're going to have a perspective as to how you're going to develop with your wife, and then eventually have kids and bring them up. Except you think you've decided to be a eunuch, which, if that is the case, maybe it's good you communicate long enough to the people who matter in your life. It can be your parents, can be your mentors, your pastors, and others. Communicate to them that it's like this: I want to remain single for life. And then you explain to them, could it be the fact that you want to remain single as a celibate measure to serve God? Will you want to remain single for one reason or the other? Maybe you discover that there is a kind of biological dysfunction in you that cannot permit you to get married, and you are telling them, by virtue of this, it will not be good that I take somebody's daughter and then have troubles with her all the days of my life. But if not, at least you should be thinking of marriage. And if you are not thinking of marriage at a certain age, there may be some spiritual factors that are actually pursuing you, which you don't know. At a certain point in time, there are some people you see at 45, they are just there. Marriage is nowhere found in their program. Yes, not as if they don't want to get married, but there's just something that makes them feel as if they still have time. There's just something that makes them feel like there is no woman qualified for them to get married, of which they themselves are not as qualified as the case may be. So it is important to roll out a plan for your life.
Mr. Leo and the crew. I have learned something in my dialect that I didn't know from Rev Kenneth. Thank you guys for bringing up this topic. Madam Irene is writing from Mutenga. Mr. Liu, we should not also blame these girls running behind married men. Women are also more than men. Good evening, Mr. Liu and co. As a single lady, if you date one man's husband when you marry, 10 will take your own husband, because the harvest must be greater than the seed. J.J. Ali writing from Bamenda. Okay. Could our sisters who just spoke on fingers and rings explain to viewers why her ring is on her middle right hand? Eyelashes, nail lashes, ring location. These are misconceptions. Okay. Cameroon Penal Code Section 296/492, Articles 47/349 address a number of these issues of values and compliance. Okay, compliance. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu and co. I think most single ladies prefer rich married men because of the hardship of the economy. If our standards of living had increased, there wouldn't have been such marital crimes. If all ladies are rich, they won't date married men. I'm Shay, writing from Bonaberry. Good evening to you, Shay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm Findo Emmanuel, watching you guys live with my family at Carrier, Yaoundé. Keep it up. It's really educative and interesting. I recommend more of such topics on your programs. Thanks for this eye and mind opening program. I appreciate. Thank you very much. Good evening to you all in the studio. This is Fondi Aruna Why the rings no longer scare people away is due to the lack of self-discipline, okay, by the ring owners, like Apostle Ambe said. Good evening, Mr. Kum. The world is actually coming to an end. I was shocked when I went to one nightclub in Toronto and realized it was a sex club. This is people make it there randomly. Extremely rich men bring their wives and share with random people.
Hi.
We are almost at the end of the war, okay? Yeah. Good evening to you in the studio. It's an interesting topic which the panelists have really educated us on, and I think making it a culture in us not cheat is just the best way. For Lefok Bertus is writing from Yaoundé. Greetings once again, Mr. Liu. I want to say that poor discipline is what has landed us into this mess of a society, and the idea that there should be no discipline, okay? Good evening to all of you watching us across the world this evening. This one says, well, Mr. Liu, I will want to say that from my point of view, I think apostles are not scared of the ring anymore, because young girls in particular have taken like a normal thing even when they are not married. So the boys now, every girl that sees is just pretending to scare them away, okay? But someone wrote that in what apostles said about clubs, that he visited a sex club in sex sports club in Sweden, where it is something that is normal. To say that the world, we don't know where we are heading to. The end times. Apostle, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. It's always a joy to be here. It's always a joy. Thank you.
We also are happy to have had you on today's edition of the program, Rev Kenneth.
Most appreciated, Mr. Leo. I want to appreciate our viewers for their reactions too. We are glad to be there, and we trust that God will help us to always be there when opportunity turns out. Okay,
Mr. Leo, not leaving out our sister Yvette. Thank her for her details, explanation of rings wearing. Thank her very much. Okay, Irene, thank you. We want to thank you, Mr. Asanji Yvette, for your valuable contributions to today's edition of the program. Extend our love to Mr. Asanji out there in Bomenda, and also to our Mabide Prime baby out there in the Northwest Regional Capital. We want to thank you all for watching this edition of the program. Tomorrow is going to be another rendezvous for a touching program. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.